What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to another episode of Puck You. It's Thursday, February 29th. I'm Mike Burns. Me and YLU Sports NHL handicapper Les Victory are going to dive into NHL wagering talk. We're going to talk about some leans, some likes, some free picks coming your way. But first, we got to recap another huge night. We only had 2 games on the card, but some way, somehow, Les, you did it again, brother. What happened tonight?
It was an awesome night, and it was a hard night to cap because the favorites being such heavy hitters. I was like, okay, forget the money lines altogether. It's either we're betting the dogs or we're betting the puck line on these games. And we came up with what could have been a max bet kind of night here on the bigger bet of the night. We had over goals at over 1.5 in the first period of the Edmonton game. And, you know, I obviously had my reasonings for it. We're not going to get into that. That doesn't matter. And it hit. Fucking St. Louis scores 2 goals and it hit. No, okay. Not only did it hit in under 5 minutes.
The most surprising part about that one isn't that it hit, man. It's that St. Louis took care of it themselves so fucking quick and early.
Not only did it hit, there was like even a third goal in that period for St. Louis to go up 2-1 to go into the break. So, you know, messages were flooding in 5 minutes into this game, thanking me for a great pick on that. And I'm really happy with that one. That was the big one for me. We did cash the under on the Rangers and Blue Jackets game. We really put the money on Merzlikins to have a big night because that game could have been fucking 12-0. But he stood on his head. He was great. He gave Columbus every chance in the world to win that game. And really, I gotta give Columbus credit for coming into MSG, which is a tough place to play, and putting that effort in and keeping it close. Yeah, they lost 4-1, but there's 2 empty net goals, so that doesn't fucking count.
We were teasing them around a little bit. We were talking shit about the Rangers, saying, you know, like all about the Blue Jackets here at plus 200, and they made them sweat, dude. They absolutely made him sweat. We had 2 props inside of that game. Panarin, anytime goal, cashed out on that guy. That was a nice one. Johnny Hockey couldn't find the back of the net, couldn't get anything going. None of you on the Blue Jackets to really get anything going on the score sheet. But he got a little banged up in the middle of the game, so missed out on that guy. But they definitely they pushed him to the wire, man. You know, yeah, I know it was 2 empty net goals, but still. It was right there, 2-1.
Something I really didn't like about the New York Rangers in this, and this is going to go unseen by everybody else. I can fucking guarantee it. But so Columbus pulls their goalie. The game's 2-1. It's a 1-goal game at this point. Columbus pulls their goalie. New York gets possession of the puck in their end. They got 3 guys blow the zone immediately. And they just got possession of the puck. They ended up turning it over, which turned into a 2-on-1 and a half breakaway, all below the top of the circles in New York's end. That could have been the tying goal. And if you're playing anybody else besides Columbus, anybody with a little bit of skill, that they're going to bury that chance. So the fact that everyone's zooming out of the zone with, you know, a minute left up by 1, where are you going? Where the fuck are you going? You need to be on the defensive side of the puck. You don't need a goal. You need to stop them from getting possession and coming back the other way. And that's exactly what they did. And any other team besides Columbus would have made them pay. And I would have laughed at them. I would have said, fuck you, Rangers. You guys are way too selfish and undisciplined to scrape together a tight game win.
Nobody would have loved that nobody would have loved to see that more than me, with a couple shekels on plus 200 Columbus there. Always love a New York blunder. Didn't get it tonight. Now, finishing up the recaps, man, we had the biggest prop bet in the history of prop bets hit tonight. Connor McJesus ends the goal drought. He wins it in overtime for Edmonton. We were all over that son of a bitch. 11 games on and off. McJesus is back.
Okay, so let's get into this for a second, because yesterday's podcast, I kind of pulled one on McJesus, saying that he needs to shoot, he needs to score. You know, he's this apple tree. I called him out saying, you know what, you shouldn't be bragging about you only wanted getting 100 assists on the year. Like I don't like that. I still don't like that. And now that I look at this, I look at the goal a couple times now. He didn't have anybody to pass to. He was in like a half break with the D kind of cutting him off. He only had one fucking play. There's 5 seconds left. He literally didn't have a choice but to shoot. So not taking anything away from him. I love him. I'm happy for him that he got on that scoreboard. And I hope this sparks something for him, because some of the plays he made tonight were really questionable decisions. You're coming in the slot, one-on-one with the goalie, and you pass the Hyman on the goal line. Like, why?
Just a little pass happy, man. A little pass happy. But, he finished it off. He closed out the boys. Did it for Oilers tonight with the game winning in overtime.
And we had that other big prop bet on that game, right? I don't know if you mentioned it just a second ago, but I had posted this earlier in the Telegram and on Instagram that we had a free bet on this game, and I had a full write up on it. And we had Hyman anytime point, and we had McJesus with the apple. Literally brings me back to my whole point of him not scoring. I'm like, if he's going to get points, it's going to be assists. He hasn't scored a goal in, what was it, 15 games or whatever. Doesn't matter. That cashed for a nice little 2-game parlay as a free bet for the fan.
Yeah, we're looking good right now, brother. All right, let's look ahead to tonight's games. Let's start with Las Vegas Golden Knights coming into the Boston Bruins. We're opening up here at plus 140 for Vegas, minus 165 for Boston. Now, I was doing some digging on these teams, and everywhere I looked, and as I kept comparing, home stats to road stats and these stats to that stats, I couldn't help but feel like these teams are just like fucking doppelgangers in February, right? I mean, like the last 10 that they faced against each other, Boston has won 7 out of 3, right? But these guys play each other 2 times a year, right? The under has cashed 7 times. Vegas's road record is 14-10-5. So basically they're 1 game under 500, right? They've lost more than they've won. This February has been really friggin' weird, right? So Vegas's record in February is 4-4-1. Boston's is 3-3-5, right? All they do is play games in overtime. Vegas has scored 4 power play goals in February. Guess how many Boston has scored? Vegas is 25th in 5-on-5 scoring. Boston's tied for 26th. Really, the only difference between these two teams is the penalty kill. Vegas has one of the best. Boston has one of the fucking worst. It's 72%. But man, neither team can really score on the power play, so it doesn't fucking matter. So where are you looking at with this guy?
I'm leaving it the fuck alone, because first of all, you look at this from a betting perspective, and you've already summed up the records, but how is Boston a minus 160 favorite when they've won 3 games in their last 10? They've won 2 out of their last 9. They are fucking not going right now. They just finished that 4-game West Coast trip where they kind of got banged up. And if you're going to bet on anything, sprinkle a little cheese on the checking the yes to go into overtime, because that's the only games Boston is playing right now is overtime. They've gone to overtime 7 out of the last 8. That's literally almost every game.
Franchise record for them.
Is it? Yeah, it's got to be almost an NHL record. Like, what's the NHL record on that stat? Not that it's super significant, but it's something that jumps out off the page when you see an anomaly like that happen. And this isn't the same Boston team as reigned the regular season last year, right? And the goaltending, it's been questionable. You got 2 really good goaltenders, and neither of them are really going. They're struggling to get wins. They're giving up 3 or more goals every game. I mean, we're getting into the dog days of the NHL here, where teams are getting ready to push for that last playoff spot, and they're definitely coming up short. They're coming up short right now, Bernsey. And I don't like either of these teams. Vegas is still kind of banged up, but they put in a pretty good effort against Toronto the other night, which, I tip my cap to them because the money was rolling in on Toronto. And luckily for us, we stayed the fuck away from that because I didn't like any of that. But I don't know if I like anything under this besides maybe the under because Aiden Hill's supposed to start as of right now. Things could change come game time. And you'd like to think Boston's goalies are going to get it figured out at home, right? They have to.
I mean, I look at both of these, whoever's in net, I really look at it as kind of a push. Both teams have two goalies that could be starters on any team. Vegas is coming in a little bit more banged up than Boston. They're not going to have Mark Stone again. They're not going to have Eichel. He'll be back soon, but not for this one. I mean, it's just weird, man. Like Boston hasn't won a game in regulation since February 8th. Today's the 29th. That's just a weird
3 weeks.
It's just a weird thing. Granted, they've gotten points in a lot of these games, but it's a weird thing. And the weirdest thing and the most un-Boston thing that's been going on is that they've been blowing third period leads left and right. They've lost the lead in 4 out of the last 6 games. And we're not just talking about just one goal. Right now, they're just not playing good hockey.
And honestly, special teams is a huge part of everybody's game, really. And the fact that theirs isn't going either sides of the spectrum, they're not scoring on the power play, they're getting scored on the kill. It's a little bit of a head scratcher. I mean, they have 14 overtime losses. That there's only one other team that has that, and that's the Islanders. And you can see where they are in the standings. Like, it's confusing to me that they're in the spot that they are. I mean, sure, they're still comfortably second in the Atlantic, but it makes you wonder how, given like their poor play as of late. It's a good thing they had a good start of the season because right now it's catching up to them.
That's exactly what I was about to say. You kind of put yourself in a position. Listen, every team's going to stumble. Every team's going to fall. Not everyone's going to win all 82 games. So it's a damn good thing that Boston had a good start because they're able to weather the storm. Like you said, they're second in the Atlantic right now. A couple of things that I am looking at in this game, things that I do like is, I love some prop angles on this guy. I love Shea Theodore here. He has had assists in the last 3 games. He's had assists in the last 3 games. Multiple assists in the last 3 games, points in the last 4. I'm looking at him for an anytime assist. I also like Willie Karlsson a lot. I mean, with these guys banged up and these guys hurt, we cashed out on Marchessault the other day. We can't go back to the well with him, right? So we got to pass it around. Willie Karlsson, he's got points in 5 straight. He is averaging 3 shots on goal. I saw him over on DraftKings at 2.5. I'm taking the over on that. And even Pastrnak, in February, he averages 4.5 shots. Ain't nobody going to give you over 4.5. It's almost a given with this guy. All he does is fire the fucking biscuit. So I don't know about this game straight up. Like you said, kind of dancing a little bit towards the under, but maybe there's a couple shekels to throw around with the player props in there.
No, I agree. Definitely.
All right, let's get over to Buffalo and Tampa Bay. Buffalo coming in at plus 135, Tampa at minus 165. 6.5 here is on the over. Buffalo has been running on a little bit of a decent stretch lately. They put together some good hockey. They won 3 in a row. They took the L from Florida in the last game that they were out, but they were right there. They put Florida right to the test. Before Florida knocked them off, they were on a 5-game winning streak. Offensively, they do tend to struggle, but now that they're getting healthy, they're right around 2.9 goals a game. They have been cleaning up a little bit of defense. They're at 3, giving up 3 goals a game. I mean, somehow Buffalo just has an ability to always transfer to the under. They've cashed the under in 8 of their last 10 games. What are you seeing on the Buffalo side? What do you like going on?
Just to correct you on one little detail there, they went on a 3-game win streak before Florida knocked them off, not 5. Just to be clear
Well,
for
it was a
everybody.
5-game road streak, 3-game win streak.
Yes. Okay. All right. That's what I wasn't sure there. I just wanted to make sure. But yeah, you know what?
I have a tendency of fumble fucking all my words, man. So no.
Yeah, and I'm here to tell you that you're an idiot. So that's what we're here for.
My translator.
I speak English, but okay. So let's get into this one a little bit. Okay. Now, it's kind of a head scratcher because Tampa went on a good tear in January where they won all kinds of games. And then come February, they seem to be kind of fumble fucking a little bit. And I think a big part of that reason is because of Vasilevsky. He's just not sharp right now. He's given up all kinds of goals. And until I see him settling back into the role that he used to own on that team, it's kind of hard to really jump on the Tampa Bay train. Especially, you're right. Buffalo has been playing a lot better hockey, and a big part of that reason is my man UPL. I've officially given him that acronym because I also fumble fuck his name all the time.
Yes.
I mean, anybody that gets it right the first time, good for you. Not me. But he's been absolutely stellar for the Buffalo Sabres lately, But again, he's playing a lot of hockey. This is a road game. Buffalo is better on the road than home, but Tampa's really fucking good at home. So, I mean, if Vasilevsky gets to start here, and it's not confirmed yet, but if he gets to start here, this has got to be a must-win for him because there's just too many question marks, and Tampa's chasing down home ice advantage in the playoffs. And if they don't get things turned around, things change very quickly, and there's still 20-some games left. They could be put into a spot that they don't want to be.
I mean, Tampa has just been so strong for so many years, and Vasilevsky's been the best goalie in the year, best goalie in the league for so friggin' long. That's why we're talking about these things. We're just not used to seeing these things. We are used to seeing Tampa putting up at least 3.5 goals on average per game, but we're not used to seeing them give up 3.5 goals per game. In the last 5 starts for Vaz, he's 1-4. He's got a 4 goals against average, an .853 save percentage. Things just and in that game against Philadelphia, they were right in it until Philly just blew their fucking doors off in the third period. I know everyone, it's all over NHL.com. This amazing goal by Forrester. That thing was weak as
man.
Shit.
Oh, God.
It was not a good goal. That was a terrible, terrible save.
It's funny how the media does that because I just got a notification saying McDavid scores highlight reel goal to end the OT. Fuck off.
It rolled over his shoulder.
Oh my God. Binghamton overslid it by about 4 feet. He was almost in the corner when he shot it. Anyways, but yeah, no, you're papers, right.
Man. Gotta sell.
Yeah, sure. I get it. But from people that actually know what the fuck they're talking about, I laugh at shit like that. But back to Tampa here. Now they have really struggled with the special teams lately. Like their penalty kill hasn't been very good as of late, and neither has their power play. And the penalty kill you can blame a lot on Vasilevsky and goaltending because that is your number one PKer right there. And if you're not being able to rely on your goalie to make some big saves on that PK, you're going to run into some special teams problems, and that's where they are right now. And Buffalo, they seem to be rolling a little bit on the power play. They've gotten a power play goal in 4 of their last 5, and but again, their PK struggles a little bit, and that's a big part of that reason is the teams that they're playing have really good power plays. Like they played Florida, they played Carolina. These guys got good fucking power plays, and they'll make you pay if you make a little mistake.
But they played these teams tough, man. And that's something that I haven't seen coming out of Buffalo. Like Buffalo played with some fucking jam against Florida. Like they were out there. They looked like they wanted to win the games. Not to say I've watched a lot of Buffalo games, but I've seen Buffalo games where it's like, oh, third period, these guys are down by 2. All right, let's tag it in. Let's get on to the next one. So I don't know. A little bit of some juice going on there with Tony Granato behind the bench over in Buffalo. Yeah, I think he actually wound up blowing the game for him against Tampa because he kept his mouth running there and got the extra minor that they scored on. But You know, I mean, the stuff like that, you got to rally your team. You got to fire these bitches up, you know.
One thing I really like. Sorry, one thing I really like on this Tampa game, Bernsey, and I just kind of saw it there. I've been kind of filtering. I had some notes on this, but something that just kind of jumped off the page is the over has hit on this Tampa team 4 straight home games in a row now. So take that what you want. Right now, it's at a 6 for a -130. Not a bad price. Not a bad price for a team that gives up a lot of goals, but also, you got Kucherov.
Oh my God.
say no more, right? So may not be a bad thing to explore is the over Tampa at home on this one.
I mean, Tampa. No, you're good, dude. I mean, Tampa alone can hit the over, all by themselves. Speaking of Tampa overs, I do have my eye, and I got a couple bucks over here on Braden Point. He's riding a 7-game point streak. He's got 5 goals, 7 assists. I'm looking for him of anytime points, or I'm looking for him for anytime assists. And then I also got my eye on Tage Thompson's shots on goal. I'm taking him over 3.5. He's averaging 3.61. That's at a +110. I'm going to be all over Tage. I think he's going to be out there firing. He's looking better. He came off for injury recently, and he's been a monster out there. All right, we got 2 more.
Tough guy to defend, man. Like, as a defenseman, I look at him and how fast he is and how long his strides are. Like, God, it'd be fucking terrible to defend against that guy.
It's like fucking Slender Man out there against you.
It's like Chara, but fast and good.
All right, 2 more games to get to. Now, this one is going to be, I think it's going to be a little bit of a slugfest. This is kind of so we got Minnesota walking into Nashville. So we got 2 red hot teams here that are both fighting for pretty much the same playoff spot. Now, Minnesota's walking in on the road at +100. Nashville's -120 at home. Over under set low here at 5.5. Minnesota's 7-2-1 in their last 10. Nashville 7-3. Now, I've talked about Minnesota a bunch of times on here, and being I'm an old New Jersey Devils guy, my old coach is behind the bench here and has really, really invigorated this team. Johnny Hines is behind the bench. Ever since John took over, they're 23. We're on a first name basis. I can call him John. He calls me Mike. We're good. Johnny Hines.
You text him, but he doesn't text you.
He's busy. He's busy winning. 23-15-2 ever since Johnny stepped behind the bench there. And they've taken down some top dogs. They've taken down Vegas. My notes got cut off. I don't know who else they fucking taken down, but they've taken down the big guys. Thank you.
Yeah.
That's why we're a team.
They took down Chicago. Fucking big name there.
Cool.
I mean, they banged up Vancouver for a field goal the other night too, right? So they that
was
score.
that silly ass game. Yeah, that was that silly ass game. I think they had 4 power play goals during that game. Speaking of power play goals, the power play has been buzzing, not just in the Vegas game. In the last 10 games, they got 12 power play goals. And now you walk into Nashville. Nashville's on a 6-game heater.
Who knew?
We were saying it before, dude. Like, how quietly did that happen?
Like, it was a secret. And you want to know why? It's because they did it on the road. They won 5 in a row on the road with a back-to-backer in there. Like, they played 3 games in 4 days or something crazy, and they won every one. Sure, it was against San Jose and Anaheim, but you still got to go and play the game. You got to be healthy enough. You got to be fit enough. You got to be mentally there. Your goaltenders need to play. Like, that's a tough thing to do against any team. And not only did they do it winning, is they did it while posting a 1.8 goals against average and a 933 save percentage. So, I mean, Saros and Lankinen, I tip my cap to you. You guys have really turned this team around. And I used to laugh. Like, people are still talking about Saros being trade bait. Nashville's going to sell and they're going to get rid of Saros. What are you talking about? You're not getting rid of Saros. You're never getting rid of Saros. If anything, you're going to extend him.
That was a lot of people's wishful thinking, just like New Jersey, hoping for a real solid goalie. And I think what kind of woke up Juice was, you and me had a conversation not too long ago, and you were fucking shooting some shade his way, man. Called him very, very average. I'll tell you, in February, he has not been average at all. He's won 5 of 7 starts, 269 and a 919 save percentage. See, Juice has shown up.
why do you always point out the bad things I have to say about people, but you forgot to include the good thing that I said after. I said if this Nashville team wants to succeed and start winning games, he also needs to be better. He needs to be better, and he has. And now look, he's got the team in front of them. He just needs to shut the fucking door, and he's done it. He's done it, and now they're winning. So people, he watches this podcast, and he heard me and he's like, you know what, I'm gonna prove that Canadian bacon guy loser wrong, and I'm gonna go out there and I'm gonna make some saves.
You were the ultimate motivator, man. 100%. Juice heard you. He's responding. He's showing. He's giving you the big fucking middle finger right up.
I like him. I'm glad he is. I like Nashville. That's a good team. It's good to see them having a little bit of success. So now let's get back to the reality here. Like this, we got to handicap this game. We got to find some sort of value in here that we can make money on. I mean, how do we not consider the over on this game? Just with Minnesota buzzing so hard, Nashville playing so much hockey, getting back from the long road trip. They played against Ottawa the other night and they banged them up, but I mean, Ottawa, they just pull their goalie and play with 6 skaters all game anyway. So that doesn't really count, but they've played a ton of hockey lately. So I feel like this is a little bit of a trap spot for Nashville just because of those things. And, it could be one of those nights where things just don't go right for them because they're kind of due for a rough night. And if anyone's going to give them a rough night, Bernsey, it's going to be Minnesota.
But at the same time, and as much as I love the way that Minnesota is playing, dude, I mean, like Nashville can't allow that to happen. I think they're 5 points up on Minnesota, or maybe 4. I'll take a look. But this is a pivotal game here. You can't cash one in here.
Yeah. No, you
gotta
can't
come out firing, dude.
You have to, but the problem is I don't care. What you have to do is over time, you get wear down. Your team is going to wear down. You played a lot of hockey. You finished a long road trip on the West Coast. It plays a toll no matter how big of a game it is. Things just have to happen. And how has a 5-game road win streak even happened yet in the NHL? Like, I don't know. That should be something we should be looking up because, that's impressive. And nobody's talking about it. Why is nobody talking about the Nashville's 5-game win streak on the road? I mean, maybe Edmonton. Actually, yeah, they probably won more than 5 on the road, obviously, in that 16-game stand. But rather than that, like they're accomplishing something that's quite impressive right now. But it just, to me, it feels like it's too much hockey in a short amount of time. It's going to be tough for me not to consider Minnesota on the money line here.
Listen, nobody's talking about it because Nashville is just not that sexy spot. They're not that sexy team. They're a very lunch pail, just show up to work and get it going. But I'll tell you who is a sexy spot, who is a fucking man rocket, who I got some money on. Me? Roman Josi.
Oh.
Sorry, buddy.
Yes, of course. Yeah.
Roman Josi, bud. I got him at -105, over 1 assist. He's put up points in all but 2 games in February. So I saw -105. I was like, I'll take free money. Absolutely.
Yeah, and I don't mind that bet at all. I mean, that you need that kind of effort from your captain, and he's done a really good job of being a leader on that on that team, and he's starting to get rewarded for it. He's on the power play. He's buzzing, and when that team buzzes, they have a lot of energy. He's going to get points.
Speaking of their energy guy, Philip Forsberg, over 1 assist, +124. I like that guy a lot. He's got apples in 3 straight games. He has 7 multi-point games in February. And the weird stat about him is in all the games that he has points, he also has goals. He's like a 1-in-1 kind of fucking guy. If he's getting an assist, he knows that he's getting one back. So like maybe I'll take another look at that and I'll go in there for anytime goal scorer plus the assist and parlay them bitches together because it happens all the time for Forsberg.
Just one interesting thing to note here is the last time these 2 teams played in Nashville was November 30th of 23, and Minnesota put a 6 spot on them.
Well, I mean, listen, You know, anything can happen. I mean, after watching Minnesota in that Vancouver fucking football game, I mean, I can't say that nothing is ever going to happen. You know, I mean, McDavid scored a fucking goal tonight, dude.
Oh my God.
You know, like, can you believe it?
Connor McApple's now fucking a goal scorer again. Wonder if he kept the puck.
All right, let's finish up on the West Coast over here in British Columbia. We got the LA Kings walking into Vancouver. LA's coming in at plus 125. Vancouver minus 145. Over under set here for 6.5. Head to head in the last 10 times that these teams have played, and they do play each other a decent amount. Vancouver is 7-3. The under has cashed 8 times against these two teams. This is the third game in 4 days for LA on the road over here. Calgary took them down. Edmonton's put a spanking on them. I mean, what do you like about LA walking into Vancouver?
Honestly, it's a tough spot because LA is one of those teams that can have all the energy in the world and yet look so fucking flat the next shift or the next period or the next game. And it's tough to figure out why. It's like they get lazy. It's like they stop moving their feet. Calgary skated up and down them. They were all over them. Like it wasn't even close, the completeness compared to that Calgary team. And if Los Angeles is going to go on, this road trip and not compete, it's going to be a very difficult task for them. I mean, yeah, they're Vancouver's banged these guys up over the years. They're 7-3 head to head, but LA's only won their last 2. Like at one point, Vancouver really had a commanding lead over these guys head to head. The unders hit several times. Like Los Angeles hasn't scored. What was it? They haven't scored more than 2 goals in their last 5 of 6 road games from a team that used to be. Weren't they 10-0 on the road at one point?
Yeah, they were just road warriors, dude. Like they had some silly ass stat walking in here.
And this whole LA team this year has been question mark after question mark after a 10-0 road record, and now in their last 6 games, they have scored less than 2 goals 5 of those times. You're not going to win in the NHL very often by only scoring 2 goals. Luckily for them, they were able to scrape together a couple 2-1 wins against Pittsburgh and your lowly, shitty Devils. I mean, not very good teams, but again, a win is a win. But you got to be able to produce more up front. And now we're talking Vancouver here, a very good defensive team, but is also struggling between the pipes right now. Why are they playing the shit out of Demko? This game has changed. Goalies don't play 60 fucking games anymore. He played February 20th, the 22nd, the 24th, and 27th. He's played 4 games in the last 7 days. Why? Casey DeSmith hasn't played since that whole football game, which feels like it was a month ago.
That's because he's on a missing persons report. They got him the fuck out of there.
I mean, I get it. If he's in social assistance, talking to somebody about his feelings, that would be tough to put up 8 goals. But this is the long game, and I feel like Vancouver isn't doing a good job of playing that long game right now. They need to spread the workload out. And you look at Vegas last year, they went through 3-4 goalies and they had several guys get involved with it. The game has changed. You're not going to have any Marty Brodeur seasons anymore where they're playing 70 games. And I'm not saying that Demko has been on the year, but recently he is. It's almost like Vancouver's like, oh, this is a good get right spot for us because of this matchup. So we're going to put Demko in. And then he gives up 4 goals. And then the next night he's like, well, this is going to be the one to get his call. And then it doesn't end. So, I mean, it's tough for him because, he had 40 shots on net against Pittsburgh. He was pretty good. He's not getting the results that he might deserve, but he's still been pretty good. But okay, Demko isn't officially the goalie tonight. And this might change come game time, depending on obviously the lineups and stuff. But I would like Vancouver to consider Casey DeSmith in this game against a struggling Los Angeles team that can't find the back of the net. The guy gave up 8 goals. If you want to go deep in the playoffs, you need both goalies going. And you got to get DeSmith back on the bike. Yeah, sure. You fell off of it and your face got dragged through the mud for 8 goals. Get over it. Get back on, get in there, and let's get this straight again.
Well, I mean, Vancouver has not been playing well much at all lately. I mean, they've lost 4 of 5. They beat Boston in overtime, lost to Pittsburgh in overtime, Seattle 5-2, Colorado 3-1, and then exploded against Minnesota. I mean, it's been tough going, man. And I mean, if you throw DeSmith back out there, I mean, it's almost one of those things of maybe, you know what, boys, we just got to get back in the winning ways here. You know, like we got to go with our sure hand here. You know, we need guys like JT Miller stepping up, right? Who I got a couple shekels out there about an anytime goal scorer at plus 170. Just saying, he scored 7 of the last 9 games. But, you know, I mean, maybe the team just isn't feeling good. Maybe Talk is that old school kind of get the fuck out there and fucking play, because that's what you're a hockey player. That's what you're supposed to do. So maybe he is trying to bring that, you know, mentality back to, you know, this team.
Does that work in today's game? I mean, this isn't basketball here, or we're load management. We don't play back-to-back games. You get to sit this one out there, and make 3 times the money as the NHL guys. You know, I don't think it's the game anymore. As much as we'd like to pretend we're tough hockey players, but the reality of it is, it's a long fucking season. It's a fast game now. Goalies are getting more shots than they ever did before. So a lot of things have changed, and I'm fine with that. I'm fine with spreading the workload out. I get, at the end of the day, it's a 22-person team, 24-person team, whatever it is, and you need that entirety of all of them to win a championship.
So Demko gets to start tomorrow in this matchup. Who wins?
Vancouver.
If DeSmith gets to start tomorrow in this matchup, who wins?
Vancouver's winning this one.
I think the same exact thing. I think LA's a weird fucking team, man. You know, like I just feel like they play down in certain spots, and like when they get sad about stuff, they stay sad about stuff. I don't know what's going on.
Why would you say that? Does the 16-game or 14-game losing streak suggest that they get down on themselves when things don't go well?
You could change the coach, but it's hard to change that culture. I mean, they've already been at each other's throats. Doughty calling people out about being selfish. I wonder who Dubois he was talking about, but we'll see how this one goes. But I do agree with you. I think Vancouver takes this one home, and I think JT Miller twiddles the twine as well. So
the reality is Vancouver's 20-5 at home. Okay. And even though LA is 18-9 on the road, which is still a really good record, a big part of that was stemmed at their 10-game road winning streak a century ago. A lot has changed for this LA team. So you know, this kind of reminds me of that Colorado Dallas spot the other night. Where Colorado was only like what was it, minus 135, and we fucking ate that up like fucking mama's cooking. Like it was just an absolute smash spot, because when you crunch the numbers, Colorado wins at home over 80% of the time. It doesn't matter who they play, they win at home. And Vancouver is very similar here. So, you know, give me a $1.45, $1.50. I'm all over Vancouver. I'm also all over Quinn Hughes with over an assist tonight. The guy's been awesome lately. And I know the power play hasn't been going for Vancouver. They've really struggled. They've only got 3 power play goals in their last 10 games, Bernsey. Like, I don't know what they need to do to get it going. But, you know, you're back at home now against kind of a desperate LA team. You want to win. This is a conference matchup. You want to beat these teams. Like this is a big spot for Vancouver to send a message in the West and be like, hey, we're fucking number 1 here, and we're not planning on letting anybody change that.
I mean, this is a potential playoff matchup, so I don't think either one of these teams are going to be taking the night off here.
No, definitely. It's going to be a good game. I'm going to watch it. Well, maybe. Fuck, I've been staying up till midnight, 1 o'clock every night watching hockey, and it's starting to play a toll on me.
What a tough life you live, Les.
It's a lot of work watching every game, man. It's like the amount of beer and popcorn I've been eating lately is just fucking unhealthy. I can feel my cholesterol is about as high as Demko's goals against average right
Save
now.
percentage. All right, guys. That's going to do it for us over here. We got 12 games on the docket. This is just 4 of them. Just a little something to help you guys out. But if you guys really want to see what we're getting to the window with, if you want to continue with Les's hot streak, then you got to get over to ylose.com. Packages at an all-time low, $49 for the day, $99 for the week, $2.99 for the month. Is that right, Les?
Yeah, you got it. Yeah.
$2.99 for the month. And I think you got another little special treat for everybody, Les. Am I correct?
I just want to give some stats on, this is all fun and dandy and we love talking sports and talking hockey, but the reality is we're about making our clients money. I fucking devote my life to going and finding edges on these games to go and give them to people so that they can bet their hard-earned money with my expertise to try to make them. So just a little recap. The last 3 out of 4 nights, we have absolutely dominated the board. We have hit 17 out of 19 bets. That's 89%. And one of the 2 bets that didn't hit was that Todd Bertuzzi over power play points that we put $200 on. I'm taking that as a loss because at the end of the day it was red, but that was a Hail Mary that paid 5 plus 525 or something crazy. But at the end of the day, it was a loss. I mean, we're winning almost 90% of our bets in the last 4 nights. We've been hitting the parlays. We're hitting the underdogs. We're hitting the max bets. We're just crushing. So, this game is, you play it when it's hot and then you dumb your sizing down when it gets cold. So right now we're hot. Tomorrow we're putting a 4-0 guarantee again on the card. We got 12 games. I'm going to find us 4 games, 4 bets that are going to cash us. You buy the week pass for $99. You're going to get a 4-0 guarantee. If not, what is it? What do we give the rest of the month for free?
The rest of the month.
30,
yep.
You get, yeah. So
you'll have the entire month of March.
All of March for free for $99 if we don't go 4-0. It's an absolute no-brainer not to play this. It's a win-win. You either make money with me tomorrow or you make money with me all of March. It's up to you.
Make sure you guys stay connected here on Telegram for all of the most updated information. Check out YouTube, TikTok, X, Instagram. Links in descriptions are below. Please make sure that you hit that likes button. Make sure you subscribe. We got a lot of good stuff coming over for you guys. We're doing the best we can for you. For Why Lose Sports, get to Why Lose Sports for all your sports handicapping needs. For Les Victory, I'm Mike Burns. We'll catch you guys back over here tomorrow. Hasta lasagna.